Hello and welcome to County Perspective, the show that focuses on Frederick County government, local programs and events, and the community that you live in. I'm your host, Brandon Rosa, and thank you for joining us. As we usually do at the top of our show, let's start some things off with some recent news from Winchester Hall. Community members gathered at Winchester Hall on October 5th for the State of the County with County Executive Jan Gardner. Executive Gardner has been the County Executive of Frederick County since December 1st, 2014. And since then, she has made many efforts to improve the quality of life in Frederick County and help save taxpayers money. Executive Gardner said making life better means attracting new local jobs, providing high-quality education, and speeding up school construction, providing for a growing population of seniors, keeping our residents safe, and protecting taxpayers. In her address, Executive Gardner unveiled 3 announcements. Executive Gardner will submit a $2.4 million supplemental budget to fund several new public safety initiatives, which is implementing Next Generation 911 and Emergency Communications Radio Network upgrade, personal protective equipment replacement for career and volunteer firefighters, add an assistant director position for volunteer fire and rescue services, make changes to sick leave policy, and add a new recruit class for 28 new positions for fire and EMS. Executive Gardner announced that Frederick County is going solar. A solar array will be installed at Ballinger-McKinney Wastewater Treatment Plant, which will produce 1.3 megawatts, making this Frederick County government's first solar project. The photovoltaic solar facility will generate renewable energy to power the treatment plant. The project will be funded by a $2.4 million grant from Maryland Department of the Environment. Frederick County has been selected by an award-winning television series to be profiled as a great place to live, work, and raise a family. The short documentary will air on public television, PBS member stations, and other networks nationwide. If you would like to watch the full State of the County presentation, go to tinyurl.com/State of County 2018. County Executive Gardner is fast-tracking the design of 2 school construction projects and funding them through fees that developers pay. She made the announcement during her public information briefing that was held on September 27th. Executive Gardner will introduce her first ever supplemental budget to move forward in addition to Oakdale Middle School and construction of a new elementary school in the East County area. The new schools will help to combat school overcrowding in Frederick County. Funding will be provided by impact and school construction fees. Executive Gardner said every student deserves a seat in a classroom, and these schools are desperately needed today. She also announced plans to form an adequate public facilities advisory committee, which will help to prevent school overcrowding in the future. The committee will include staff from the administrative and legislative branches of Frederick County government, the Board of Education, representatives from Frederick County Public Schools, the City of Frederick, and 3 members of the public, including 1 member from a parent-teacher association. The committee will meet twice a year to review and evaluate data related to public school capacities, facilities, enrollment, and growth trends, and to make recommendations to the county executive. Over 200 Frederick City and Frederick County workers gathered at the Great Frederick Fairgrounds on October 9th for the annual Snow Rodeo. Drivers used various types of snow removal equipment like 1-ton to 10-ton snowplow trucks, graders, skid loaders, and more to compete against one another. Various competitions were held to simulate obstacles that may occur during snow removal operations. The event had special guest speeches made by County Executive Gardner and Mayor Michael O'Connor, followed by an award ceremony for first, second, and third place winners. The event had numerous vendors and exhibits related to snow removal, safety, and highway maintenance. The Snow Rodeo is fun, informative, and brings great camaraderie to city and county drivers. Now let's change things up and answer some questions that some of our citizens at home have about our county. In our Ask Jan piece, citizens email questions to the county executive so that she can share her answer to everyone via television, social media, and other internet platforms. Let's take a look.
Why am I seeing so many new homes being built? Most of the houses that you see being built today around the county were approved prior to my administration. So what are we doing? During my administration, we've approved no new residential development, with the exception of a senior housing project in Urbana. We've also put a new law in place to not allow residential housing to proceed if schools are not adequate. And we've ended the developer agreements of the past. Most important, I've advanced a new initiative called Livable Frederick, a plan for a bright future for Frederick County. Livable Frederick puts citizens in charge of our future instead of developers. If you want a bright future, support Livable Frederick.
We're going to take a quick break, but stick around. We have plenty more coming up on County Perspective. Welcome back to County Perspective. I'm your host, Brandon Rosa. Now in a bit, we'll learn about Parks and Recreation's date night cooking classes. But first, let's head on over to Animal Control as we take a look at this episode's featured pet.
Stella arrived at the shelter in February, but the stress of shelter life and an undiagnosed food allergy proved to be too much for the 7-year-old feline. She began over-grooming, and eventually, despite our efforts, she had licked away most of her fur. We placed Stella in foster care and figured out the right mix of diet and medication, and now Stella is a normal cat. For more information on Stella, visit Frederick County Animal Control and Pet Adoption Center, 1832 Rosemont Avenue.
Are you and your significant other looking for something to do together? Why not learn a new skill at the same time at the Parks and Recreation's date night cooking class? Let's take a trip over to the Ballinger Creek Community Center's kitchen to find out more.
Our date night cooking classes are held at Ballinger Creek Community Center in the kitchen studio at Ballinger Creek Park in Frederick, Maryland. Our date night themes range anything from Italian, Mediterranean, to steak night, even chocolate night. So we go a wide variety of options. Our date night cooking classes have menus that include drink, appetizer, main course, anywhere from 2 to 4 entrees, side items, and of course dessert. Our benefits of taking our date night cooking classes is that you get to not only spend time with your significant other, but also do it in a fun environment where you can learn new dishes and recipes and enjoy a meal together. Our date night cooking classes are 2.5 hours long, and in that time from 6:30 to 8:30, we do some demos and cooking instructions and cooking the meals. And then from 8:30 to 9, we sit down and enjoy the meal together. Our participants get to enjoy the meal together here right after class. After we get everything cooked for our date night classes, we sit down, set it up as a buffet, and actually eat together. So they sometimes have leftovers, but most of the time we make the food and they enjoy it right here. In our date night classes, we're always looking for new themes. So if there's something that you particularly want to learn and a date night that you are interested in, we're open to suggestions and ideas, and we will find a way to make it happen. So we hope that you will come on out and join us for one of our cooking classes. And we really have a lot of fun and are looking forward to meeting you and cooking along with you.
Date night cooking classes are just one of the many programs that the Parks and Recreation has to offer. In fact, there are multiple county departments offering programs and events around the area. Let's take a look at a few of them and see what's going on in the community. To find out more events and programs, or for more information, log on to the county's webpage, frederickcountymd.gov. At the end of our show, we like to mention a few things our viewers should keep an eye out for in the upcoming weeks. Community members are invited to the ribbon cutting and dedication ceremony for the new Middletown Fire Station that will be held on Saturday, October 28th at 1:00 p.m. located off of Franklin Street in Middletown. The new fire station will support the Middletown area for generations to come. The new 18,000 square foot facility will be able to station staff and volunteers around the clock. For more information about the event and the new station, visit frederickcountymd.gov/DFRS or call 301-600-1536. The 11th Annual Frederick Community Health Fair will be back at the Frederick Fairgrounds from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m., hosted by the Asian American Center of Frederick and sponsored by Frederick County Government. Participants will be able to learn about medical services and undergo free medical consultations, mental health examinations, and health screenings, such as hearing and vision, and more. Medical professionals from Frederick Memorial Hospital will be available on site. Last year, the health fair had more than 1,000 participants and over 70 exhibitors. The Asian American Center of Frederick is seeking volunteers for the event. If you would like to sign up to volunteer, contact volunteers at aacfmd.org or call the office at 301-694-3355. That's it for this episode of County Perspective. Don't forget to follow Frederick County on social media in order to keep up to date on important news and events. We'll see you next time for a fresh look from a county perspective.